Solutions 93.9 FM.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Barkadi Salah, Adi, I think I got it right. Barkadi Salah. To all Nigerians listening to the show this morning, welcome to Kickoff Sports Show, the first half of the AM update this morning and Salah edition. Actually, my name is Oladapo Kunubi, aka Idrisa, and Favor Laurentola, aka
Fatima.
No, we have one Fatima. Yeah.
Okay.
We have Fatima.
So which one should I even pick now?
Idayat. Favor Idayat is on the show this morning. We know why we are doing this, so that nobody will not come and tell us that there is no Salamit. Okay, remember we are live on Facebook, facebook.com/Solutions939FM, same as our YouTube channel, Solutions939FM. And on the show this morning, we'll get an update from the world of NBA, tennis, football, transfer stories on the show here. Favor, how are you doing? Good morning to you.
I'm very fine, thank you. And I'm expecting the salami like you said. So today, let's move over to, different sports stories. Remember, you can join us live on Facebook, Solutions 939 FM, Solutions 939 FM. We're live, drop your comments, and, help us share and like. Well, let's start with NBA, right?
Right, let's go.
Well, it's injury time and it's pull-out time for NBA Miami Heat guard Victor Oladipo, who has exercised his $9.4 million option for the 2023-2024 season. And Oladipo is 31. He tore his left patella tendon during the first round of the playoffs against Milwaukee Bucks in April. And he has undergone 3 major surgeries in the past 4 years. The other 2 were on his right knee area, and there is no timetable for his return. So therefore, it's pull-out session for Victor Oladipo.
Okay, let's also wish him quick recovery. As we move straight to Sacramento Kings this morning, Sacramento Kings associate head coach Johnny Fernandez has accepted an added assignment as head coach of the talent-laden Canadian national basketball program. Fernandez replaces Nick Nurse, who has led the national team since 2019 while serving as Toronto Raptors coach. Fernandez will take over as coach of Canadian roster that could include several significant NBA players, including all NBA guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jamal Murray, and Nick Ford, R.J. Barrett in the 2023 FIBA World Cup and 2024 Paris Olympics. Rowan Barrett, Team Canada's GM, has helped to build a roster that could include more of Canadians' top NBA players, including Dillon Brooks, Lou Dort, Dwight Powell, and Kelly Olynyk. Moving away from that this morning, and let's talk tennis.
Right, British number 1 Cameron Norrie continued his preparations for Wimbledon with victory over American Francis Tiafoe in the Giorgio Armani Tennis Classic exhibition event in Ollingham Club. Norrie, who reached the last 8 at Queen's, made a solid start in the overcast conditions on Tuesday afternoon as he took the opening game on serve with an ace and then forced an early break chance to move 3-1 ahead.
World number 10 Tiafoe, who won the Stuttgart title in grass earlier this month, helped to reduce the deficit to 5-3, but Norrie closed out the first set in the next game with a backhand winner down the line. Now let's go back to Coco Gauff this morning, who has told journalists that Wimbledon's decision to relax its all-white clothing rules is a huge relief and makes things a lot less stressful for female players.
Well, Wimbledon organizers announced in November that female competitors would now be permitted to wear dark undershorts and relieve the potential source of anxiety when they have their periods. All players were previously banned from wearing colored underwear since 2014 as part of Wimbledon's all-white clothing policy. I understand this because, when you're on, you're very conscious of not, spilling out and not, staining yourself. So if you have colored underwear, aside from white, you can play without worries.
Okay, so now they have to take off the tag of all white competition, the all white tennis tournament, the all white this, the all white that. I mean, it is good as well. This is also, this will be this is like a second time in sports. I mean, for tennis, we know that, or football as well, where some players came out to say that they need to also look at a different shots. I think that's also happened in the British. And that is the England national team, the female national team, where they complain about their white shirt. But, well, a good development. But now let's just move on this morning as we look at more updates. We move straight to the second half of the show where we talk football. Good morning. Do not go anywhere.
From NBA, away from tennis, let's talk football. And let's talk about the former Nigerian international Sylvanus Okpala, who's urged the Super Eagles coach Joseph Pesero to use mainly home-based players in the final game of the 2023 AFCON qualifier against Sao Tome and Principe. The Eagles have already secured the ticket to next year's AFCON after defeating Sierra Leone 3-2 on March Day 5 in Monrovia, Liberia. Up next for the Eagles is an home game against bottom side Sao Tome in the final round of games in September. Okpala, AFCON winner in 1980, urged the Portuguese coach to use the game to try out home-based players.
Well, I feel as this looks like a good decision, I mean a good thought, but I feel look at the MPFL players we have. And look at the Niger Super 8 playoffs we saw over the weekend, same as the NPFL Super 6. Well, we have some key players, but you cannot say all NPFL players should be paraded for this game. The question we need to ask is first, the Chan Eagles, where are they? Where are these players? How consistent are they? And how consistent is the NPFL? Remember, it was an abridged version of the league that was played. Instead of having like over 30-something matches, we had like close to 20 games. So how fit are these guys going into an AFCON qualifiers? Yes, Nigeria has qualified already, but what we need to look at here is everybody cannot be all MPFL players. You need to also have some Super Eagles players who did not play the last game against Sierra Leone in Monrovia. I mean, the likes of Ahmed Musa and some other key players who were just on bench. They need to also play this game so that they can be fit enough. Remember, if we lose the game against Sao Tome and Principe, it is more of the rankings, the FIFA rankings, because they look at the points you are able to get, how good, I mean, how you were able to perform well. So you cannot just toy with the national team for now.
I know Joseph Pesero would actually think this through and make sure that he does the better thing for the Super Eagles coach. So it's just a suggestion. It's either for him to take it or leave it.
Right, and now let's go straight and count down to the FIFA Women's World Cup. We'll go straight to the Brazilian national team, where Brazil forward Mata is set to play a 60 Women's World Cup after being named in a Pai Sondheim's squad for the tournament starting in July 20 in Australia and New Zealand. Six-time FIFA World Player of the Year Mata will lead Brazil's quest for first world title alongside other experienced players such as Debbie Tamirez and Andre Alves. However, the former United States and Sweden coach does not guarantee that the all-time Women's World Cup top scorer will feature in the starting lineup. Well, it's not compulsory you start, but you must also come as a motivational factor for the lads going into that game based on experience, right? Now let's move away from that and let's talk club football stories this morning, and let's talk transfer. And we start with one man who's been in the news for the past few weeks.
And club that is not giving up.
Well, we have clubs that are not giving up. We have two clubs that are not giving up about this man, his name sounds like what we'll be eating today, and also sounds like a name of a player if you turn it backwards, like a man who scored an own goal for Liverpool. But it's about, when you hear his name, you think you're talking about food, and it's none other than this man.
Anderson, that's out by Xhaka, but it's not away, it's Rice! Declan Rice breaks the deadlock. Declan Rice gets on the score sheet for West Ham for the very first time.
So it's about Declan Rice this morning.
And it's about a club also that is not giving up on Declan Rice. Arsenal have made a third bid for West Ham's Declan Rice worth £105 million, which, if accepted, would make him the most expensive British player ever. The deal breaks down as £100 million initial fee plus £5 million in performance-related add-ons. The offer smashes Arsenal's transfer record, the £72 million paid for Lille Nicolas Pepe in 2019. Rice has been Arsenal's primary target this summer, and the player's preferred destination is the Gunners.
Okay.
And it's going to take me back to Saturday's First Safari when Duke said Arsenal doesn't want to pay enough money for players and the likes, but it looks like Mikel Arteta wants the best for his club this season, gone in for the bottled league that happened to them last season, just to top the league.
I feel what is happening right now is for Declan Rice, one thing is really working for him, which is about the European tournament he won with West Ham United and being an English player. Look at some of the key English players who have left their clubs to another club in England. It has been with high fee. Starting with Harry Maguire, Jack Grealish, who moved to Manchester City, and look at these key players, the way they move. Even Stones, who also moved to Manchester City then. But for Declan Rice, maybe it feels like going to Manchester City, you may not have a playing time. Looking at the areas of players in the midfield, right? And he needs to get a team where he can function, he can play well. And for Mikel Arteta, he understands what a midfielder should do. He has played in that position before. He has played for Arsenal before. He knows what Arsenal players want. And he will also be thinking of shipping out players to allow Declan Rice also play. But looking at that amount, £100 million with £5 million add-on, I think this is outrageous. But West Ham United will also need to cash in.
But at the same time, isn't this just you wanting to get it at all costs? Being desperate. And then you keep adding more money and more money to
That is how transfer is, because they rejected Manchester City's bid as well.
Oh, God.
So,
I'm enjoying this.
well,
and I'm sure Declan Rice is enjoying this.
He's also, he needs to enjoy it because, for him as well, he will not want to stay back in West Ham United. Because you look at how many key players will you want to play with? You need to play with players who can help you achieve your dream of winning the English Premier League title. And, well, Manchester City is the only team that other teams will want to compete with in winning the Premier League title. But look at Arsenal, look at the players they have. They need to also bring in more players that can battle for not only the English Premier League title, but even treble, including the UEFA Champions League title, because they're playing in the Champions League next season. Now let's move away from that and let's go straight and talk about another man in the transfer news. Remember Teemu Pukki, right? With Norwich City, that played in the English Premier League some seasons back. Well, head coach Andre Heth believes the Minnesota United have signed a gold standard striker after Major League Soccer outfit confirmed the arrival of Teemu Pukki. The former Norwich poacher has signed a 2-year deal for the Loons after allowing his contract at Carrow Road to expire. Pukki, 33, scored 88 goals in 210 appearances for the Canaries during his 5 seasons in East Anglia, twice firing his former side into the Premier League. However, they could not stay well in the Premier League. Remember, there have been issues between Real Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti and Everton, but no more war.
No more war, as Real Madrid coach manager Carlo Ancelotti has settled his high court contract dispute with Everton. Well, he has spent a team month at Goodison Park between December 2019 and June 2021, finishing 12th and 10th before returning to the Bernabeu. Well, very few details were known about the specifics of the claim about the dispute, but it has now been resolved.
I mean, I feel for Coach Ancelotti, when the whole issue came, he didn't really talk much because Everton gave him that opportunity to, to manage the time he was jobless. So you can't just bite the finger that fed you. Let's go on a break, and when we return, we'll talk more transfer stories. Don't go anywhere.
This Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa, just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data plus jollificate 15% bonus when you recharge, just use Momo. You wan pay for market where you buy, just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash. As long as you get Momo account, no cash, no wahala. And e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account inside your Momo account to make you fit dey pay for anything. Send and receive money sharp because life dey simple with Momo. You go jollificate 15% bonus anytime you recharge with Momo.
Mommy!
Yes, daughter?
Why is it that almost everyone in my school comes with Sumal candies and biscuits? I just want to know.
Yes, darling. It's because Sumal food is amazing and simply the best.
Yes, Mommy. Even the Sumal wafers and the chewing gum that you've always given to us are extremely delicious and captivating.
Hello, everyone. Here's your bread. Of course, it's yellow bread.
Wow!
Thanks, my dear. We always enjoy Jolly bread. For your biscuits, wafers, candies, chewing gum, and bread.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
John, what's up? Check your phone. I just send you Momo referral.
My mama don't run that one for me since now. Me say for the five who I go refer, make a quick hammer my million.
Hey, you too fit be one of the 12 millionaires for the Momo Refer and Win promo. To win, dial *671# to sharply open your Momo account and select option 6 to refer family and friends them. After that, make sure say them open Momo account and use them recharge airtime or data at least 100 naira. Chicken, the more people where you refer, the more you go win. If you not see out of 12 million naira every week, you fit to chop out of 25 million naira.
Momo Refer and Win promo. The more you refer, the more you win. Promo go run from June 15 till August 9, 2023. Terms and conditions dey shall.
Whenever I tell people I'm a full-time master student and a content creator, they go, huh? How are you able to do both all at once? You bewitch? No be juju. Na MTN 5G. Ever since 5G came into my life, I've been on cloud 9. I get to take my classes online in real time and upload my videos before you say Jack Robinson. Even Babe isn't left out. Our long distance is waxing strong.
Hello, babe. Can you hear me? Your video is frozen again.
We don't do that here, because life is a breeze.
Experience the wonders of MTN 5G. Hyper-fast internet connection with no buffering, zero lag, and quality data capabilities like never seen before. Available on broadband and mobile. MTN, Nigeria's #1 5G network. What are we doing today?
exciting right here, Solutions 93.9 FM. Still talking transfer stories. Well, let's go to James Maddison, who will have a medical at Tottenham today. And the Leicester City midfielder closes in on a £40 million move. Tottenham and Leicester have an agreement in place worth in the region of 40 million. We're talking about 1.5.
Yes.
Now this is 40 million.
40 million. I mean, look at where.
So-
It's for Leicester City. They got relegated, and that also drops
And value of a
the
player.
value of such player. You understand? The likes of Kelechi Iheanacho, the likes of Wilfred Ndidi, and look at some other key players in that team. The value will surely drop, and it will surely drop. Look at James Maddison. I think last season it was worth more than £40 million. And if he's moving to Tottenham Hotspur, what happened to Tottenham Hotspur also last season? You understand? I mean, they lost a lot. I mean, they fired some. I mean, was it Antonio Conte that left the team? They brought in another manager, and they had issues with the managerial seat. But looking at James Maddison, if he's coming on board, well, that would be an opportunity for him to also revive his playing career. He's not playing in Championship. And well, for Tottenham Hotspur, what do they want this season? They also need to tell us what they want. You need to tell the players what they want. Inson Min had an offer from Saudi Arabia. Harry Kane may also be moving to Bayern Munich, because what we are getting is that there was a verbal agreement between between Harry Kane and Bayern, but unfortunately, Tottenham came out to say that they are not willing to sell Harry Kane. But look at Harry Kane, look at the players he had played alongside. He played with Luka Modric, who has won more than 10 trophies. He played alongside Gary Bale. These two players went to Real Madrid. They won a lot of titles. So I feel this is the right time for Harry Kane to leave Tottenham. To leave Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham doesn't look like a team that wants to win titles. They got to the final of a cup competition in England, and I think that was Carabao. And that was the time they fired Jose Mourinho. That could have been an opportunity for them to win titles. But hey, for Maddison coming on board is a good one. And let's also see if he can, hold on to that position. And let's move on this morning and let's talk about a man who's a midfielder who just joined Manchester City. And that is Matthew Kovacic. Kovacic has completed a move to Manchester City from Premier League rivals Chelsea. The fee is understood to be worth an initial £25 million guaranteed plus £5 million in performance-related add-ons. He will wear the number 8 shirt recently vacated by Ike Gundogan, who has joined Barcelona. But Kovacic is amazing. Is happy to join Manchester City, saying that it was an amazing welcome to also play alongside a UEFA Champions League winning side.
It feels amazing. All the people around here welcomed me very nice, so I feel already part of it, and very nice to be at such a big club, a club that has won a lot in the recent years, and can't wait to get started. Amazing. I'm joining the current Champions League winners, Premier League winners, so it's an amazing team with amazing players, a great coach. And you can see from the first impressions when I came here that it's a big club, and it's really a pleasure to be part of it. I'm completely new, so I always know them all from playing against them, but it will be a pleasure to meet them, and really we're excited to play with such big players and players that have won a lot during their career, so a huge excitement for me.
He's got a lot of players in the midfield of Manchester City, which he will be battling with. But hey, Kovacic is saying he will wait for his time, same as telling Pep the right position he would like to, to be instrumental for Manchester City.
I think it's normal. So it will be a huge pleasure to play with these midfielders, one of the best in the world. I played against Rodri now, amazing player. De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva. Is really, when you watch the names, it's a pleasure to be here and to play with them. So I can't wait to try to do my best with them on the pitch. Most comfortable I feel on the left side of the midfield, but then in the end it's always the manager who decides where do you play. So I think I'm quite flexible, but for sure he will tell me what he wants from me, and this is what I want to learn and to improve even my skills to be a better player.
Okay, he wants to be a better player under coach Pep Guardiola. Well, wish him all the best. Now let's look at other transfer stories before wrapping up the show this morning. Let's go straight to PSV Eindhoven.
Well, they have signed United States men's national team striker Ricardo Pepi from Bundesliga side FC Augsburg. And sources added that transfer fee is 9 million pounds. That's
9 million euros.
No, 9 million euros.
Yeah, 9.6
That's
million
$9.8 million
dollars. Yeah.
And that Pepe will sign 5-year deal after completing his medical.
Well, the move marks a return to the Dutch Eredivisie for Pepe, who played on loan last season at FC Groningen in 31 matches across all competitions. He scored 13 goals despite Groningen's relegation after a last-place league finish. He's not a bad player in 31 matches, scoring 13 goals. Okay, now let's still go back to Tottenham Hotspur this morning, where the club completed the signing of goalkeeper Guillermo Vicario from Empoli in a deal worth an initial £17.2 million. The Italy international signed a contract with the club that will run until 2028, and he will wear the number 13 shirt for Spurs. Okay, now let's look at the money being placed before Hurricane.
That's the £60 million pounds plus add-ons rejected by Tottenham. Tottenham have stored the news. The no official bid has been made for Kane, and the club's stance is that they or any bid will be rejected at any point in time because. Well, anyways.
I just hope that Hurricane will not tender a letter to say he wants to leave.
Is his career? I think the club knows better. His manager should also know that he needs to move. His agent. Right now, let's look at the story concerning Manchester United here. They have a cap, or they have a limit at which they can spend, just like a fantasy. Manchester United have money to spend this summer, but their transfer budget has been squeezed by financial fair play restrictions. United posted positive financial results on Tuesday with revenue up to 11% to £170 million. That is approximately $216.5 million for the 3 months ending March 31. The third quarter results also included a projection that full year revenues will hit a record of £630 million to £640 million. Let's see the players that will coming on board to Manchester United. But in case you don't know, I will let you know. But we'd like to make a big shout out to Adeboja Yusuf, David Oluwasegun Taiwo, live on Facebook. Well, we'll let you know more transfer stories on this dial. Kickoff Sports here will be back tomorrow morning, right? But hey, we moved to the other side of the show this morning where we look at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers. Mr. President's returned yesterday. Yeah, he's back. Welcome, sir.
He returned to Lagos instead of Abuja.
Well, that is where he wants to celebrate Salah, so I guess it's okay for him, then he can go back to
Abuja,
to Aso Rock. But the talk of money reminded me of the CBN's restriction on the Know Your Customer policy that was made. We'll talk about that as well. Well, I am still here.
Talking about the social media, right? I mean, banks will check
Yes.
customer social media.
No, it's that one is smart, but there was this limit, 15,000 to 50,000, that we are going to also talk about this morning. Oladapo is getting out of the studio. I'm putting him out, but I'm still here. No move a muscle. It's Solutions 93.9 FM.
Fight for you. I'll give my life for you. No valley too low, no mountain too high for me to climb for you. Now you did help me see the very best in me. And now you did there when nobody did there. Now you invest in me. And I will walk 1,000 miles if only you will hold my hand. I will go the distance all the way for you. You know I can. kill starlight.
93.9 FM.
Keep it locked. Them say my eye go clear. Them say your eye go tear. Darling, no mind them. Make you no send them. Them no be gone, my dear. And I will walk 1,000 miles if only you will hold my hand. I will go the distance all the way for you. You know I can. People they ask me, say, waiting they make me smile. I tell the whole world, say, now you be my life. And if them argue, say, yeah, we no go last reach night. I tell the people, say, you know fit kill. Starlight they shine from night till the morning. You know they tire, you know they die. And even when it disappears, still they out, they shine somewhere all the time. People they ask me, say, wait till
93.9 FM.
I tell the whole world, say, now you be my life. Oh, people they ask me, say, waiting they make me smile. I tell the whole world, say, now you be my life. Oh, and make them argue, say, yeah, we no go last reach night. I tell the people, say,
93.9 FM.
Keep it locked.
We break down the facts of news, delivering the latest information, playing the coolest of music, giving you the best of entertainment. This is 93.9 FM. We are the solutions. We are the remedy.
Your number one remedy dial.
We raise the spotlight on the different headlines of our national dailies.
This government, apart from giving that minimum wage of 30,000, which was a 6% rise.
We bring to you in-depth analysis on the major stories making the rounds.
And the CSOs to INEC account for 400 billion naira spent on general elections.
Interviews with political and government stakeholders.
There was a big push on export. We consume a lot. We need to be an economy that an export engine, and we need to be a production.
Every weekday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the Remedy Dial, Solutions 93.9 FM. Welcome to From the Dailies with Favor, Dapo, Laffy, and Victory. Let's talk about the state of the nation. Your voice matters.
Okay, to all our Muslim faithful out there, I'd like to say Barakat Salah. It's like the biggest festivity in town today. I can see if you're out on the street this morning, you feel the excitement already. You know, Ileya is one festivity that comes with so much pageantry and so much fanfare. And I think I can't wait to be a part of the celebration.
I see that you can't wait to be a part of the celebration.
I can't wait to be the part of the celebration.
I will give you 2 reasons why I know. Number one, it seems you were part of the planning committee yesterday, because your voice shows that, yes, I am into this mood Everything must be set. The ram is ready.
Well,
the rice is ready, and everything.
Not necessarily. I was a member of the planning committee,
were-
but
you-
I
well,
have a lot of friends
Okay, I can feel
who
that.
are doing the
I
thing
can feel,
today.
I can feel the energy. And two, you're in the festive mood. You have your, attire ready for the Ilea and everything. So from here,
Once I'm done here,
I can see.
I'll start making some
I
visitations.
have mine too. I came in sharp proper this morning, so everywhere I go and take my own. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Favor Oloruntola. You heard me with Oladapo Kunubi. I told you I was going to put him out, and I embraced Madida Molala Fewa.
Embracing me. Okay, that's a nice one. It's another beautiful Wednesday morning in the big and beautiful city of Ibadan. My name is Adita Mala Lafe, and this is from the Dailies segment of AM Update, where we take you through some stories in some national dailies this morning. This morning, I've got The Nation and The Guardian newspapers with me.
Well, I'll be flipping through the pages of the Punch newspaper and the Nigerian Tribune. We'll go. Just stay tuned.
Okay, taking my first shot at the Nation newspaper this morning. I have this headlines from the CAP headlines, okay? EU observers report on results transmission unfair, says INEC. That story is on page 2. Vehicle owners to pay 1,000 naira yearly for proof of ownership. Did I read that right? Vehicle owners to pay 1,000 naira yearly for proof of
It's
ownership.
been circulating since yesterday.
Okay, that's a new introduction. Okay, Nigerians. Okay, let's keep our fingers crossed. They just keep throwing more things in our faces. That story's on page 2. Now, moving further, 9 Fayemis ex-aides among 21 commissioners designate. Travelers trapped as rain destroys Benin Akure Highway. The story is on page 6. Moving to the banner headline on the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning, I have this one saying, Edo Kabir, our challenge is surmountable, Tinubu assures. And there are 2 riders under that caption. It says, they say, okay, one of them says, President marks Eid in Lagos. And the second rider says, governing Nigeria, tough job, says Buhari. That's a nice one. Okay, moving away from that, Bio re-elected Sierra Leone's president. Okay, Bio, okay, re-elected Sierra Leone's president. Can Akpabio Abbas urge love, unity, prayer for Nigeria? Another headline says, single-digit interest loan coming for MSMEs. And the last one I'll be taking, it says World Bank projects 2 trillion naira saving for federal government in 6 months from subsidy removal. And the writer under that caption says, provide safety net for the poor and vulnerable. These and many more stories will be found on the pages of the Nation newspaper this morning.
All right, let's start with fuel subsidy removal right here on the Punch newspaper, where poor Nigerians will eat 101 million without palliatives. That's from the West Bank. Governors, IMF back subsidy removal, demand cash transfer scheme for poor Nigerians. CBN measures failed to tackle inflation in first 6 months of 2023, World Bank insists. So there's also the story right here from the Punch newspaper on Naira devaluation. Expect price hike. Telco tells Nigerians. That's on page 26 of the Punch newspaper. And the federal government, banks plan special ID cards for senior citizens. And still on Nigerian matters, Tinubu can governors preach tolerance at Salah. Lawless soldiers shoot Ogun driver for parking beside company, and APC caucus NEC meet July 10, 11. But let's talk about the state of security as DSS alert. Military, police deploy teams in prayer grounds. And more multinational manufacturers planning to exit Nigeria. Man, I was not expecting this story this morning because throughout last week we had a visit of some foreign investors coming to Nigeria, talking about the music industry and the likes of it. So why are they planning to exit Nigeria? We have to talk about that as well.
Okay. All right, moving to the Guardian newspaper this morning. I have this one saying, lobbyists term Budillion for ministerial appointment. Akpabio, Atiku, Khan, others advocate peace, sacrifice for national development. Inflation and subsidy removal. That's the banner headline. 7.1 million Nigerians may become poorer as families face 5,700 naira monthly loss. Wow. Okay. Nigeria's multi-dimensional poverty index (MPI) by state. Okay, there is a map of there is a particular map on the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning, indicating the poverty index in different states of the federation. You want to know more? You get a copy of the Guardian newspaper. Despite itches, Nigerians join 2 million pilgrims pray at Mount Arafat. Another one says, beware, kidnappers of students on the prowl. Okay, motorists to pay 1,000 naira for proof of ownership certificate from July. And the very last headline I'll be taking from the Guardian newspaper this morning says, Salah, Katsina governor rejects 100 rams from philanthropist. These and many more stories will be found on the pages of the Guardian newspaper this morning.
All right, you made mention of a story from the Nation newspaper earlier concerning INEC, mentioning that the EU's stand on the 2023 election was unfair. But the Nigerian Tribune picks it this way: impunity, lack of transparency. March 2023 elections. That's a statement coming from the EU. Page 3 says more than 100 campaign-related deaths, voter intimidation recorded during February 25 poll. Demands legal reforms to promote transparency. Lists 6 areas of improvement. Now, let's move away from that and still talk about the fuel subsidy, which is still something that is trending in Nigeria. Fuel subsidy removal to fetch Nigeria 2 trillion naira in 2023, 11 trillion naira by 2025. That's a statement from World Bank. Says inflation sent 4 million into poverty. Provision mix of fixed monetary exchange rate policies, naira design failed to deliver desired results it had. And also, let's talk about federal government introducing, we've been saying this, but I want to just calm down so that everybody will hear again. Federal government introduces 1,000 naira annual levy for vehicles, proof of ownership certificate. You can get that story from page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. Shake up as NAF redeploys 52 AVMs, 48 air commanders. That's on page 29 of the Nigerian Tribune. Are problems not insurmountable? Tinubu tells Nigerians and Salah, leading Nigeria hardest challenge in life. That is from the ex-president of Nigeria, that is Buhari, and Akpabio Abbas governors. Atiku, others greet Muslims. Barka the Salah. And race for Senate leaders divide stability group. APC, NWC silent on zoning arrangement. Fixes NEC meeting for July 11. Page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, I'm just grabbing a copy of the Vanguard newspaper with me right now, and I'd like to take some of the interesting headlines on the front page. CBN limits transaction via contactless payments to 50,000 naira per day. That story is on page 19. That means they are reintroducing the limit, daily limit again.
When I saw this morning, the first thing that came to my mind was this story was, delivered in a different way last year. And maybe the words were just recoined.
Because I can see contactless payment.
It's just recoined in another way to make sure that it's not going to look as bogus.
But still meaning the same thing.
It's still meaning the same thing.
50,000 naira per day. That's
It's
the
limit.
limit transaction you can do when you transfer.
Just
doing cash transfer.
These things are very interesting.
Okay, we'll talk more on that. Okay, Edo Kabir, Buhari, Akpabio, Atiku, Obi, governors can glow, preach love, peace, compassion. That story is on page 35 of the Vanguard newspaper. I'm working day and night to solve Nigeria's challenges. Tinubu. That story is on page 10. And another one saying 2023 presidential election not transparent, inclusive EU. That story is on page 9. Moving to the banner headline, use subsidy savings to lessen suffering, World Bank tells FG. And there are some riders under that says additional 7.1 million Nigerians will be pushed into poverty. Urges removal of forex restrictions on 43 items. Approves fresh $500 million loan for Nigeria. World Bank plans additional $750 million grant for Nigeria's electrification project. That story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. Governing Nigeria, one of the hardest challenges in life. Buhari. The story is on page 35. Demolitions. Temper justice with mercy. Obi pleads with governors. That story is on page 9. Couple, 3 others killed in the Plateau community. The story is on page 6 of the Vanguard. Jostling for principal offices divides senators. The story is on page 8, and the last one I'll be taking. It says, Idil Kabir, IG orders patrols of highways, worship centers. The story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Despite the public holiday, it seems all the newspapers we have today are loaded with interesting stories.
Yeah, very loaded. So we'll be back. Do not move from ourselves to Solutions 93.9 FM. It's 8:47 right here. For staying tuned and staying glued to your radio set, and also on our Facebook platforms as well. Remember, you can also go there and drop your comments concerning every of the stories that were dished out this morning. It's Solutions 939 FM on Facebook. Solutions 939 FM on Facebook, and very shortly we'll open the phone lines as well, so that you can also contribute, and we'll have our analysts virtually in a few moments.
Okay, before we are being joined by our analyst this morning virtually, we would like to talk about some of this, I like to call the interesting stories found on the pages of some of the national dailies we just read to your listening a while ago. And one of such that really caught my attention was the reintroduction of the daily transaction for individuals by the CBN. It's a new directive by the CBN instructing all banks to ensure that our daily, when I mean our, I mean individual daily transaction limits will not be more than 50,000 naira per day. I remember when this was initially introduced sometime last year, I think last December, it generated so much controversies, and I mean, that means if you're making a transfer, e-transfer transaction, once it's above 50,000, you are grounded for the day. I mean, judging by the kind of businesses Nigerians engage on a daily basis, now, is this not a continuation of or the stylish reintroduction of the hardship the Nigerians faced in December?
Let me take it back to, I think Saturday was the day I read the story concerning the CBN introducing some kind of information to be added once you have a bank account, your name, the residence, BVN. There was something else as well that was just a new introduction. We have to start beginning from that as well. Number one, the NIN was introduced, right? We know the trouble that Nigerians went through to actually get that. The reason for this introduction then was for security reasons. I don't think the NIN has actually done the job it was supposed to do. Yes, there's some things. You want to have a new number, you have to go through that channel and the likes of it for registration and the likes. But you have the BVN. Why introduce a lot of these things? That aside, now introducing or reintroducing this limit, according to the CBN, it's for contactless payment. It is written here, the Central Bank of Nigeria has set 15,000 naira limit for contactless payment. Contactless payment system is a technology that enables an alternative payment method whereby payment instruments are used without physical contact with the payment channels. In a guideline released yesterday, the bank said daily cumulative limit should not exceed 50,000 naira, and transactions above the limit require additional Know Your Customer KYC documentation and authorizations. And in a circular to banks and other financial institutions, CBN Director, Payment Systems Management Department, Musa Jimo, said limits above the target should be transacted using contact-based technology. See, we had an issue with this. It was, I think it was first 20,000 naira per day, 100,000 naira per week. And then it was removed, and then a limit also was set. But now saying 15,000 naira to 50,000, the first thing that came to my mind was, if you're saying 50,000 naira, how would people, disburse the salaries? Fine, I own my business. How am I going to transact? Because I need to, do some transactions like over 50,000 naira, 100,000 naira, 2 million naira. Does that mean I have to go back to the bank, get this and this and that? We need someone in the banking sector to come and really explain what this actually means on Nigerians, on the economy as well, and how this is going to really favor the people that are going to be affected by these new policies. And I even like the fact that the extension has been given till December, because it's not as rushed as the Naira design policy, which is okay. But what will this do to impact the economy? According to experts, the Naira devaluation, expert says price hike has just gone above board. What is the government doing to make sure that these things are being mitigated, to make sure that we don't feel the experience? Now, 1,000 naira for vehicle owners, proof of ownership. I'm like,
that means for every year now, I have to pay 1,000 naira to the government to show that. Naira. No, okay. It's a monthly thing.
It's monthly.
Okay, now that was what I'm saying, that every month now I have to pay 1,000 naira to the.
You have to pay 12,000 naira
coffers
per
of
month
the government to show that this
I
car
am the owner
is actually
of my car. How do you know how I got my car? Do you know how easy it was to gather the money to get the car? And still, probably some people are still paying loans, or they are
Paying back loans
paying back
on
loans
these cars.
on these cars, and then you're expecting me to pay. Fine, 1,000 naira might look very small,
I think
minute, not big enough.
Probably
but
they should have come up with a better tag to the money.
No,
I mean,
no,
saying that
proof of ownership.
Proof of ownership that every Nigerian owning a car now will have to pay 1,000 naira every month to show that that car is truly yours. I mean, we are in interesting times in Nigeria. Okay. Still talking about the cashless, the 50,000 naira limit per day. I mean, the CBN would say that these things have been introduced to
boost the economy.
To boost the economy and to also encourage the cashless policy.
And to regulate.
Now, let's take this Ileya thing going on for. I mean, to get a very good RAM now, you must have about 50K to get a very... Now, imagine me. Let's say this thing has been implemented now. I want to get a RAM for the Salah.
And I have to transfer.
And maybe they say the RAM is about 75,000, 90,000 naira. That means once I can't even make the payment conveniently to purchase anything above 50,000 naira. And another interesting thing to that story is that for every transaction, it's 15,000 naira per transaction. So if I'm to pay you 30K now, favor, I have to do 15,000 naira twice.
Now, looking at it from that perspective, if you're paying 15,000 naira twice, there'll be bank charges.
There'll be charges, of course. There will be charges.
There'll be VAT on it too. And
there will be charges.
And now, it's not even limited to 5 naira. It's not limited to 10 naira. You're getting charges about 15 naira now per transaction that you make. So, what is the essence of this to make sure it boosts the economy? We'll have to talk to our analyst. Well, Clinton Omuwomasu will talk about all of these things. The president is back in Nigeria, but back to Lagos State. People are just raising eyebrows. Why Lagos? Why
no. Remember when Muhammadu Buhari was in power, was in office?
He would
go back to. So I think it's a normal thing. I mean, a president also deserves to have fun, to spend time with his family, and go back to his hometown.
I said it as well, but considering the fact that he has been away
No. He was away on an official assignment.
Britain as well.
Well, a personal visit, but I think he's entitled as a Nigerian, like you and I. He's entitled to spend his. It's a public holiday, for crying out loud, and he is a Muslim, so yeah, he needs to go back.
I don't want to believe on this. We have to talk to our analyst this morning. Please just stay tuned. For staying tuned. We have Comrade Oluomotosho ready to talk to us virtually this morning. Good morning to you, sir. Baraka the Salah. I'm expecting my own, celebratory meal from you, wherever it is that you are.
No problem.
Hello, Comrade.
No problem. Yeah, happy celebration to us all.
Happy Baraka the Salah, sir. Now, I was saying something. I was telling them Favor a while ago that despite today being a public holiday, we have so many interesting stories on the pages of the national dailies this morning, and one of such is which affects you and I is this reintroduction of the. I'm sure you must have heard the story about the new cash transfer limit daily that will be introduced by the CBN of 50,000 naira per day and 15,000 naira per transaction. And I remember last December, the CBN introduced something similar to this, and it generated some controversies in different quarters. Now, it's now being reintroduced. What's your take on this now?
Well, good morning, Nigeria, and Baraka the Salah to every one of us. Now, whatever the CBN is contemplating now will be illegal and against the law. Because I can remember the judgment that was given when the Supreme Court ordered that the new Naira note and the old note should continue to be legal tender till the end of the year. And one of the things that were discussed is the withdrawal limit that was placed on people's on depositors' withdrawal. Now, it is illegal. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm not sure that can stand the test of time anywhere. I have my money. I put my money in the bank. Yes, putting the money in the bank because I don't want to frivolously spend it. I don't want to go extravagant because I have a lot of cash. So I put it in the bank. There is an agreement between the bank and all customers that when they need their money, they will have access to it. Now the banks use the money, trade with the money that we put in their custody, and they make a lot of profit from it. Now, if I give you my money to keep for me, and you are using, it's not as if there is an agreement between the bank and myself that, look, the money I'm giving you, you can use it for business, you can lend it out to people and make profit. No, it's not as if there is any agreement like that. Now, you use my money, you make profit for me. The profit you make, you are not sharing with me. And at the end of when I need my money, I want my money, I go there and you say I can't have it. I don't think that can stand the test of time. I mean, it can pass the test of the law anywhere. So whatever they are doing is illegal. And I think Nigerians should rise up and then defend it.
Well,
we must protect it. It cannot. It must not be allowed to stand.
Okay.
You can't tell me how I spend my money or how much I take from the bank.
Actually, comrade, this policy is more of payment. I think it's not really about the withdrawal. No, it's more of payment. That the highest amount payment you can make on a daily basis is 50,000 naira.
What is the difference between withdrawal and payment? I bought goods from somewhere and I want to pay the person, and you are saying I cannot make more than 50,000. I mean, yeah, at a time. So I mean, I don't see any sense in that. I don't see any sense. And the banking industry should be very, very careful, because the cash trap that we had, the experience we had in the past, had already reduced the number of customers that the banks will be having. And now they are coming up with another thing. And yet the government is saying, look, we want more money in the banking industry. We want more money to come and go through the bank. And you are playing out, you are doing out this, you are giving us this kind of, this level of hardship for us to be able to access our money or spend our money. You want to tell us how we are going to spend our money because our money is in your bank. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. A lot more people will withdraw their money from the bank.
Another thing the central bank recently introduced is the inclusion of social media handles. I mean, every bank customer is expected to have a BVN and NIN connected or linked to his or her bank account. I mean, of what relevance will my social media handle do to my account? I mean, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on WhatsApp. Of what relevance is this introduction of you must attach your social media handles to your bank account?
Yeah, I think I would think a different way.
Okay.
Probably maybe because I'm in the IT industry.
Okay.
Now, you see, it's an inclusion of the social media handle is a way for the bank to be able to monitor their customers and people. I mean, that will allow them to be able to trace and track fraudulent activity. Because on the social media now, a lot of people, what these scammers do is they clone the website of a bank, and then they also feed their website, and then they create a duplicate and exact a replica of their social media handle. And they use that to dupe customers that are not unsuspected customers. Sometimes they say, when you have issues, and then you complain on social media that I have this problem with this bank and all that, they will come and pretend as if they are the bank.
But comrade,
of course, they are using their social
comrade, do you know that most guys that engage in this fraudulent activities on the social internet or the social media don't make use of their real? Most of them
media.
open
I can as well drop fake social media account
social media handles to perpetrate all this evil.
Yeah,
I'm sure you know that too.
I do.
Okay.
But it's easier than most people on the street thought or believe.
Okay.
It's easier for you to be able to identify who is behind any social media handle.
Oh,
it is very easy. Yeah,
Okay.
there are technologies that does that. As a matter of fact, when you are making tweets or you are doing anything, you are posting anything on the social media, you can be traced up to the room where you are operating. I mean, you can be tracked. I mean, to get to your location wherever you may be around the world.
Okay.
It's easier to do that than email.
Okay.
Now, you can use email anywhere. So I think it will be helpful to them. But then, if this is Nigeria, you cannot rule out abuses. You cannot rule out overzealousness of the bank when it gets to that, when they begin to get that. So what we need to do is to make sure that they tell us what they want to do with it and why they need it, and then we'll make sure and monitor and to make sure that they do not go beyond the limit that they said they need it for.
All right. The first thing that someone mentioned when that story came out was, this is taking us back to the Buhari era where the Twitter was banned. And now the first thing the person says would, you just make a statement against the government, your bank account will be frozen. How true is this? Can the CBN do this? Or can the banks use since your social media has been linked to your bank account, is that possible?
You see, even without asking for social media handles, when anybody is to be tracked, when they want to identify anybody, the NIN is there, the VPN is there. I mean, to be able to do that. So actually, they really do not need the social media handles to track anybody if they want to do that. But then, it's you can't, whether the social media thing, I mean, I don't know if it is tenable because the agreement between customers and banks is that, look, I'm going to bring your money, we will keep it for you in safe custody, and when you need it, we're going to give it to you. So what you do to get the money, or the kind of business you do to get the money does not really concern the bank. Now, it is in a situation where government needs to track some fraudulent activity. The government can now say, okay, we want to know the source of income of so and so. And of course, they really don't need the social media handle to be able to do that. But what they need the social media handle to do is just monitor the activities of our customers. But I don't think the bank needs that.
Okay.
The bank is now taking over the duty and responsibility of the DSS, the Security of Churches. So I don't know how far they're going to go about that, because they really don't need it. With the BVN of any customer, you can get all the information that you need.
That's my point. That's why I was asking that how relevant is how important, since they already have the BVN, they already have the NIN, why extend it to the social media handles? But at least you've been able to give answers to that question. Okay, now let's move away from that story a bit. You spoke about introducing policies that kind of bring hardship in one way or the other to Nigerians, and there is this story in virtually all the newspapers this morning. It's about motorists to pay 1,000 naira for proof of ownership certificate from July. What's your take on that?
Sometimes when you see some things, some policies statement come out and you look at it and you just laugh.
And you just laugh.
Yeah.
That is it. You just laugh.
Yeah, because,
He went to the league by.
Because what we are used to, what we used to know is that once you bought a car, either directly, I mean, new or
used.
You change or use or whatever. You get, you get a police report, and which will eventually dovetail into you having a change of ownership, and then from there you'll get proof of ownership and all that. So, and it is one for a car. That vehicle, that one will be for the lifetime of the car. You don't need to change it again except you are sell it to another person, and that person will need to change it again. But now they are coming to say that, so does it mean that if I own a car this year, and I decide not to sell it and I'm still using it, so I still need to go back and say, look, this is the same car that
It's still my
I
cow.
have not sold it.
It's my
So
cow.
it's still my car. So I'll now pay for that. I see my cow. I don't think I don't see how this is. I don't know how far it's going to go.
Probably it's just a
But
renewal.
what's the other renewal or whatever? You're asking me to come now. Already now, when you want to renew your paper, the insurance is now 16,000 naira every year.
Every year.
That's the insurance alone. Now that does not involve the vehicle licenses, and of course that does not involve the VIO papers and all that. So which means at the end of the day, now I'll be paying. I'll have to be paying over 20,000 naira just simply because I just want to renew the paper of my vehicle. I don't. People, a lot of some of the things that people were talking about is that when Australia comes in, that we're going to have this issue, this problem of duplicity, multiple taxation and all that. Now, if this one is coming, now he's been doing some things. We've been seeing some of the policies that is rolling out, and we are applauding it. Say yes, it is so. Now, you are coming up with this. I don't know how they think. They kept the other time during Kenya Adeson's period. They said we have to pay 50 naira on every deposit that will make about 1,000 naira. Now, even the money that was raised from that, the government is saying they don't even know how much it is. The government has not even assessed it. It's going into the pocket of some people and all that. Now, what had happened to that money? Can you imagine? Just visualize the volume of transactions that go on in the bank every day, above 1,000. And then they deduct 50 naira for that. Now, multiply that by 30 days in a month, and multiply that by the number of years that this has started up until now. Now they are coming again to say now every vehicle on the street now must pay 1,000 naira every year, simply because I just need to reaffirm that the car is mine. I got, the car still remains mine. So if if I have 4 cars now,
that's
for the family,
4,000 naira per year.
That means I have to pay 4,000 naira every year for that. I don't think that is making much sense to me. Yes, you need to raise money. You need to raise revenue for the government. But be proactive about it. Don't overburden the people.
Overburden the people.
Yeah.
Okay, now
this is amounting to that.
Talking about overburdening the people, there is a story on the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning. It's more like a warning coming from the World Bank, instructing Nigeria as a country to tread this issue softly. The headline says inflation and subsidy removal. 7.1 million Nigerians may become poorer as families face 5,700 naira monthly loss.
That's just an estimation.
It's just an estimation coming from the World Bank. I mean, we already having issues of inflation, subsidy removal, and the ripple effect it's having on the economy, and the likes. Now, looking at this statement, what do you make of this? 7.1 million Nigerians may become poorer as families face 5,700 naira monthly loss. We'll talk about this when we come back from this short break. Please stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
93.9 FM. Keep it locked.
For this Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa, just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data plus jollificate 15% bonus when you recharge, just use Momo. You wan pay for market where you buy, just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash. As long as you get Momo account, no cash, no wahala. And e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account o. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account or inside your Momo account to make you fit dey pay for anything, send and receive money sharp because life dey simple with Momo. You go jollificate 15% bonus anytime you recharge with Momo.
John!
What's up?
Check your phone. I just send you Momo referral.
My mama don't run that one for me since now. Me self, I dey find who I go refer, make a quick hammer my million.
Hey! You too fit be one of the 12 millionaires for the Momo Refer and Win promo. To win, dial *671# to sharply open your Momo account and select option 6 to refer family and friends them. After that, make sure say them open Momo account and use and recharge airtime or data at least 100 naira. Chicken, the more people where you refer, the more you go win. If you not see out of 12 million naira every week, you fit chop out of 25 million naira.
Momo Refer and Win promo. The more you refer, the more you win. Promo go run from June 15 till August 9, 2023. Terms and conditions dey sha o.
Hey, my name is Alex. I've been a content creator for a while now, and I always try to innovate to keep my audience entertained and engaged. When 5G came into Nigeria, I thought it was all noise, like the normal hype, gang, and all that noise. But boy, was I wrong. Because I've hosted virtual concerts, partied with my followers in the metaverse, created skits with creators in other countries without ever having to leave my room. I can shoot a movie without being on set. Hey, now that's a godsend. With all the money I've spent on cabs this year. If there's one thing 5G has done right, I would say it's made it easier for me to do me.
Change the game with MTN 5G. It offers hyper-fast internet speed, seamless buffering, and applications that can only be possible via its quality data capabilities. Available on broadband and mobile. MTN, Nigeria's #1 5G network. What are we doing today?
Daughter? Why is it that almost everyone in my school comes with small candies and biscuits? I just want to know.
Yes, darling. It's because Sumal food is amazing and simply the best.
Yes, mommy. Even the Sumal wafers and the chewing gum that you've always given to us are extremely delicious and captivating.
Hello, everyone. Here's your bread. Of course, it's yellow bread.
Wow! Thanks, my dear. We always enjoy Jolly bread. For your biscuits, wafers, candies, chewing gum, and bread.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
We break down the facts of news, delivering the latest information, playing the coolest of music, giving you the best of entertainment.
Yo, what's up?
This is 93.9 FM. We are the solutions.
Come on.
We are the remedy.
Your #1 remedy dial.
I can smell the rice that has been prepared from the salad. You understand? It's coming from I don't know where it's coming from, but it's just coming to me, and it's making me feel like, yes, I'm going to eat a lot today, this morning.
You are going to eat a lot.
But I don't think you will, but...
Are we? Says who? Let's finish this.
All right. We expecting. So it's 90 minutes gone past now, right here at Solutions 93.9 FM. We are still on AM Update, and we still have our analyst right with us. Carmelo Motosho.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for staying tuned.
Just before we went on that break, we were talking about kind of a subtle warning coming from the World Bank to Nigeria, saying that 7.1 million Nigerians may become poorer as families face 5,700 naira monthly loss as a result of the removal of subsidy and this inflation that Nigeria is currently witnessing at the moment. What's your take on that, sir?
Well, I'm not an economist.
Okay.
I'm just a watcher of the markets and the housing flow on the street. World Bank, they have their source, and then maybe they have the yardstick for measuring and then predicting. But as far as I know, as a Nigerian, the subsidy regime, the subsidy is a fraud. And the fraud is killing the people and is killing the country and bastardizing our economy. And to the extent that the country is getting poorer by the day, and then borrowing from the World Bank. And now that the subsidy has been removed, which means that we'll have money to spend locally, and there will be, there won't be a reason why we have to borrow more
money again
from the World Bank. So the money we are using for subsidy could now be channeled to handle and then cater for other things. But at the issue, we were borrowing money to attend to. So if we are not going to borrow more from the World Bank, and then we will need to take care of some of the things we weren't able to when we were having a subsidy period. Now that we have money to handle those things, of course, it should be of concern to the World Bank.
But interestingly, the World Bank recently approved another $500 million loan for Nigeria.
Of course, they will want to do that. They want to tell us that they are friendly with us. The loan they approved was not a grant. Now, they weren't giving us grants, they were giving us loans. And because they are giving us loans because they know that we are credit worthy. They know that at the end of the day, we will have to pay. And when we start having problems, of course, they are the one that will tell you, look, this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. To get this money paid back. No, I'm not doubting their sincerity or whatever. But as a layman, and with what we see on the street, now they want to say, yes, it is. I agree that there will be a reduction in the number of people that drive around streets, because the vehicular traffic is reducing now, because everybody, private car owners, now want to decide, and they want to forecast how to go out. Now you want to those frivolous trips and journeys that you make, and then just roll your car to the street and go somewhere, and then you want to see, you want to look at the possibility of you having to use public transport, because that means more business for public transport owners. Because now, sometimes when I need to travel out of Ibadan, most times before now I go with my car. So now I want to I do a lot for cars. Initially, when I want to go to a place like Oshobo, when I fill my car with 5,000, when I put 5,000 fuel in my car, I will go to Oshobo and come back. And that 5,000 then was just about 25 liters. Now, if I need to buy 25 liters in the car now, because I want to go to Oshobo, now I'll be spending more than 12,000 naira to get that one. So, and if I go by public transport, now I won't spend more than 6,000 naira to go to Oshobo and come back. So now I would prefer to go by public transport. That means more business for them. So the yardstick is used by World Bank to now to come to the point that Nigerians will be. Nigerians will get poorer. I really don't understand. But I know one thing that I know is, of course, it is just natural for them to protect their own business.
The Vanguard puts it in another way. That same story, the Vanguard says, use subsidy savings to lessen sufferings, World Bank tells FG.
And the Punch says subsidy removal, poor Nigerians will eat 101 million without palliatives.
I think all of these things could be I just want to advise that the president, the new administration, look into all of these suggestions, all of these needs, and then take proactive measures to make sure that these predictions, whether fictitious or whatever, didn't have any adverse effect on our economy, and to make sure that the people really have a taste of ease than we had in the past administration. Because what's obtained on the street now is that the people are already on the edge. So any further suffering or any addition to the pain of the people now, of course, will just could lead to something unbearable, or something that is not that would not be interesting to the government at all. So I think government should do everything, read all of these news, and then sit down, put heads together, and then come up with things that could proactively terminate the predictions and the things. What all of these pointed to that the suffering will increase.
Okay.
Government should make sure that it doesn't happen.
Before we let you go, I'm sure Lafisi has something to say, but I'm still on economy. Throughout last week, we had the visit from foreign investors coming to Nigeria, having meetings with the youth. But on the Punch newspaper this morning, I have it this way. More multinational manufacturers planning to exit Nigeria. I was, having a gleam of hope last week that, okay, probably we have more investors coming to Nigeria. That I cited a lot of things that might not be favorable to these people. We have the fuel, which has increased, diesel increased, no electricity. It's just not.
And we still have the security.
We still have the security issues, and now we have this from Man giving us, saying that more multinational manufacturers planning to exit Nigeria. On the economy, let's see what this is going to bring about.
Yes. And that's why I ended in the way I ended my initial intervention. That all of those things should be should form a kind of data for the current administration. Now, the kind of hope that witnessed some of the policy statements and steps that the current administration has taken is such that it's giving foreign investors assurance that things will get better. Don't forget, those that left Nigeria left because of the harsh economic measures that the last administration took. And of course, going by with the kind of things that we are having now, the ease that we are witnessing now is not only being noticed within or locally alone, also internationally they have. And don't forget, the president traveled out last week. He met with some foreign investors and things like that. He had a lot of meetings with them. Now, aftermath of that, we will begin to see a change in perspective, a change of thought, a change of mind from investors. And I'm also aware that plans are on the way, even before the end of the last administration. They started that to make sure that electricity is made available, that states can now generate their own power and all that. And if foreign investors are coming, those that have the capacity, they know already that one of the major problems we have in this country is power. Of course, they might decide to say, okay, we are coming and then we'll generate our own power. We have solar systems that will generate, that can run factories. And then we have other alternative means of renewable energy that can be used. So once that law comes that, okay, you can provide your own off the grid, of course, that will make it more interesting and inviting to foreign investors. And when they come to Nigeria, it's going to solve a lot of problems, because more jobs will now be created. More youth will now be engaged. And of course, the agitation will find on the streets now, because we have people who are leisure. We have people who are just there because they are not doing anything. They are so free. So when they get engaged, of course, that will go down.
Okay.
I think it's a pointer to the fact that the government on seat now, that the president on seat now, should look at all of these things and then come up with kind of policy that will take advantage of the moment and then make things begin to work going forward, so that the country and the citizens can reap the benefit of.
Okay, like the saying goes, on easy lies the edge that wears the crown. Now, as we round off, I want us to dissect this particular statement in just 2 minutes, credited to former President Muhammadu Buhari, saying, governing Nigeria, one of the hardest challenges in life. What's your take on that, as we round off?
Of course, before you get to office, most of political office. Now, talks are so it will be easy. Of course, you can tell them, spectators on the field are the best players. Now they say, look at that player. Instead of him using his right leg, he uses his left leg. And when you put them on the field, they don't know how to hit the ball. So it is when they get to the field that they understand. So it points to the fact that the president, having occupied that position, has now discovered that, things were not as he was seeing them when he was outside. Until he got in. It was when he got in that he now discovered that, this thing is not easy. So it was easy then to say Jonathan is
clueless and everything.
And now he has got it there. He has had it.
You have less than 1 minute.
Ed is already giving his own testimonies now. Oh, God.
We really appreciate you, sir, for joining us today. Thank you very much for the contribution. And that was Comrade Oluomo right there, and we've been having a very interesting conversation with him, I think since 9 o'clock to this point. And it's AM update, right? I want to just let us go through the weather forecast.
The weather forecast. Okay, let's see how the weather is, so that I will know how to do my movements. You know how Sabinus. Sabinus, when he wants to plan his moves. So the weather forecast will help me to plan, and not just me, other people like me. Okay, we have a caller. Let's pick that call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is Wesila.
Wesila, good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
I just want to do something concerning the statement of our former president. It was the one who came around and said we should vote for him, that he wanted to lead. We never called him. So, given such we thought he was prepared. So, somebody, when you ask for something, you have to bear anything you see there. You don't need to come out and start telling us stories. You are the one who said you wanted to lead. And the didn't give you the chance. And you told us you were coming for a change. We never asked whether it's negative or positive. But here we are now. I want to talk the social media issue.
Okay, sir.
Look, the CBN, what concerns them with social media? And at the same time, they link PVN, NIN with phone numbers. They said it because of terrorism. They never did anything. They didn't use any of it to trace anybody. So, look, when you see them asking for things like this, they have a motive. You remember the instance of it? The after effect of instance was Twitter ban. So when you see them come out with something like this, they have a motive. They have something deep in their mind. And I don't think we need it. We need to move forward. For crying out loud, we just need to move forward. And charging people this 1,000, this one, when we do sacrifice, look, I want to see them charging themselves. They will be charging us and tell us we should be patient. Many people are dying, business are collapsing, people are running away. You are there, we do everything for you. You are not ready to sacrifice anything. You will be carrying on the burden on us. We 10 naira. What we suffer is 10 naira, 20 naira. You gather it up, you because millions with you. You are not ready to give away those millions. You want us to give us 10, 20 that we use in surviving. So the government will just think otherwise. It's very unfortunate that we are on this part, because I used to tell people, when they say somebody move Lagos state economy from millions to billions, we never had any mind. Does it participate in agriculture? He collected this money from people. You know what Lagos means? No country in Nigeria that doesn't have any headquarters in Lagos. And they generate money from the tax. The tax people who look, if you miss your way, they will ask you, this is where to go. But in Lagos, if you miss your way, last one will tell you to go and pay this.
And you'll pay.
That's how they generate their money. So that's what they're trying to practice in Nigeria. Lagos is not Nigeria for crying out loud. What people are making in Lagos, they don't make it in Ibadan, they don't make it in Sokoto, they don't make it. So they need to think otherwise. They need to look. Our mineral resources are there. Let them use it for us. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
Okay, well, our president, Bola Tinubu, said in the papers this morning that I am working day and night to solve Nigeria's challenges. So let's keep our fingers crossed as he works on solving the challenges, the myriads of challenges that the country is facing at the moment.
Keeping not one of my fingers, but about 4 of them, or everything.
All your fingers
all
crossed.
My fingers crossed this morning. Well, by 10 o'clock, it's going to look very favorable for everybody going to.
Wait, before you start.
Wait.
This is an information, very important information that you're about to share for people in my shoes that we are set to go visiting our Muslim friends for the Salah break. For the Salah festival this today. Okay, let's take a listen at the weather focus so that we'll know the necessary things to go with.
Let me bring on my news persona.
Okay.
Very important information to everyone listening out there. By 10 o'clock this morning, it's going to be favorable because we have intermittent clouds, so you may not experience the showers of blessings at 24 degrees. By 11 o'clock, it will be mostly cloudy. 12 p.m., it will be mostly cloudy. But 1 p.m. is where you're supposed to know how to limit your movement. Sorry, let me bring it back. You're supposed to know how to limit your movement by 1 o'clock because it's definitely going to be cloudy at 28 degrees. And then from 2 p.m., it's going to be showers of blessing at 27 degrees. 3 p.m., showers of blessing. It's going to stop by 4 p.m. In some places, you're going to have it at 25 degrees. It's going to be cloudy. But by 5 o'clock, cloudy, 6 o'clock, it will come again, pouring down on us to make sure that we are all enjoying the holiday. So by 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10, 11, just expect cloudy weather and very interesting one at that. So definitely it will rain today, so you know how to limit your movement. I hope I didn't.
I don't know.
I hope I did not.
I
didn't douse your excitement.
Well, it's just a matter of re-strategizing. Re-strategizing.
Okay, so you re-strategize between 12 o'clock and 1 p.m. So by 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., just know that you have to limit your movement and make sure that you enjoy your holiday. Tomorrow is there as well. It's just that the food must have finished by tomorrow. Or I said you should just go and you should carry it over to tomorrow and go and enjoy it.
No, nothing comes between me and the Salah meat today. Nothing. Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough.
Oh my God.
Ain't no river wide enough to stop me
from
exercising my my civic duty of going around visiting my friends, my Muslim friends today.
To test the rice, the meats, the different delicacies. For an Ekiti girl like this, if you are into pounded yam today, if it's pounded yam that you're making, just contact me. My social media handle is there, Oloruntola Favor on Facebook. Just say, hello Favor, we are pounding yam today. Come and enjoy with us. I will move. You know, we move to that place. You know, when you gravitate to where, you know, good things are calling and good things are appealing to you. Just go there, enjoy, and have fun.
Okay, to all our Muslim brothers and sisters out there, we wish you Barakat, the Salah, and don't forget, those of us that are on duty today, we'll be expecting your good gesture being extended to us in the studio.
I don't know why people are not wondering why these people still talking this morning. Shouldn't you be? We don't have any other option.
The show must go on.
You just have to do it.
The show must go on.
The show must go on.
Okay, we'll be back.
It's because of you.
It's because of me that was.
You see? Oh, see? Can you see? Can you see? Sharp proper. This is Salah
Alaja, look at that.
Are you mad?
Dripping from head to toe.
I see there is goodness coming today. I am enjoying myself. My name is Favor Lorotola. We have not left though. We are still going to enjoy more and more right here on your station.
And my name is Adi Damola Lafenwa. Feel free to call me Abdul Saeed today.
And
because,
Dako said I'm Idayat. My name is Favor Idayat. I put Idayat Olorontola today just for today. You understand? Well, have fun with us at Solutions 939 FM. Thank you very much. Have yourself a wonderful day. Au revoir.